Every night, after the big clock hits 8, everyone in the town still outside will be enveloped by darkness. All that remains the next day are the blood-splattered remains. This has been the way for generations, and no one knows what it is except for you. You saw something. Shuffling papers. That's how I was trying to calm my nerves. Looking at the notes in the margins, adding additional comments, sorting the papers into different orders, but I knew full well that these notes wouldn't matter when I stood at that podium. Mayor McGunny put both hands onto the microphone and leaned into it, glasses falling to the tip of his nose. The town council has concluded its existing business for this meeting. We invite public commentary at this time. The microphone squealed as he pushed it back to its original position. Silence from the audience. I hesitated for a moment, waiting for someone else to stand up first. McGunny shuffled in his seat, and I could tell he was about to call the end of the meeting. I balled up all of my nerve, stood up sharply, and calmly marched over to the podium. "Oh, Timothy. Thanks for stepping up. I'll give you 10 minutes to address the council." "Thanks, Mayor McGunny. Hello, everybody. I'm here tonight to talk about something I had happened to me yesterday evening. You all know it was raining all day yesterday. Well, one of the gutters on my barn had fallen down, and it was causing some flooding that was making its way down to the house. I had to fix it right away, or else it would have ruined my root cellar. I didn't realize what time it was, but it must have been about 7 or so. I'm gonna blame that on daylight savings. I hadn't set my oven clock yet. Anyway, I went out and got up on my tall ladder. It was wooden, and that's important later here you'll see. Long story short, I kept working on the gutters and had to get an extension cord for the nailer. I go and get the cord, plug everything in, go back up the ladder, and that's when I heard the darkness spell. I don't know if I can swear up here, but I was like, "OF, I need to get inside." That's when I heard it. The growling. I looked down at the base of the ladder and saw this black bubbling cloud. Knew right away it was the darkness. Probably that same darkness that took my Maddie a few years back. Gasps let out through the council chamber. The council members stared at each other with open mouths. No one had ever seen the darkness and lived. It had been like this for hundreds of years, ever since the town was founded. Every night at 8 p.m., the darkness bell would ring, and everyone would have to be inside their homes with the shutters drawn and doors bolted. No one could be outside, or even look out of their windows, without fear of being vaporized into a blood mist. There had been plenty of people who tried to fight or outwit the darkness, but they had all met the same fate, a pool of blood that was discovered the next morning. In spite of this happening to hundreds of townspeople over the years, the darkness had never been seen. Mayor McGunny pounded his gavel. "Order! Order! No more crosstalk between the members of the council, and I will ask the public to keep comments to themselves." "Please, Timothy, continue," I started again. "So, like I said before, I was up on the ladder with my nailer. I was terrified and started screaming. I got so freaked out by the darkness at the base of the ladder that I ended up dropping the nailer. So, it goes into this deep puddle from the flooding, and there were these huge sparks. Like I said before, I was safe on top of the wooden ladder, but I looked at the darkness, and there were all these sparks going off inside of it. It started to turn all red, like a fire was burning it from the inside. Then it just poofs into nothing." The room exploded with shouting and curses. Why are they yelling at me? I'm just telling them what happened. I tried to plead my case into the podium microphone again, but the folks in the room were too rowdy. "I survived. I survived. We can fight this thing. I made it back to my house without a scratch." They aren't invincible. No one heard me. The mayor was pounding his gavel so hard that I was worried he would break his desk. Looking around, I saw neighbors that I had known all my life screaming at me. Seeing their faces scrunched up into such anger terrified me. Ms. Harper, who taught me piano lessons when I was 8, looked like she wanted to cut my head off. "Liar, you're going to get us all killed." I probably should have stuck to the notes. After collecting my papers, I backed away slowly and exited the chamber, tossing the entire binder into a nearby garbage can. I was really hoping to get some help, but I guess I'm going to have to do this alone.